You know, I realize it's kind of a depressing thought in another kind of way, but I think about it, if you understand it and you really get it, then you realize that there is the possibility of this sort of international group that you can sort of be a part of. I mean, you and I are part of that. We got Alan Kaufman doing the book because of exactly this reason.
Yeah.
Because he's conscious of the fact that it isn't about me being discovered. It's about us discovering each other and then passing that discovery around. And part of the reason I think that he's doing that book, like Outlaw Art, is realizing that there is an outlaw community.
Ah.
And if you put that outlaw community under one umbrella, like his book, Outlaw Art, which is going to be published by Last Gasp, that means that's a positive move towards saving who you are by identifying with that group. And you see, I brought in, like, see this jacket over here, I'll show you the jacket, is like Cochise, the president of the, he's president of State Center Nomads. He did like 18 years in jail. He got out again recently. But I knew him before he went to jail. But I always believed in his art and what it is that he does. So by me, in a way, taking him under my wing, in a sense, that means that I can get him out to the people I know. So a guy like Manuel would be interested in that because they use the swastika. And his whole use of the swastika was not as an anti-Semitic symbol, but as a symbol of sort of a scary symbol that would freak a lot of people out, and it would give you power because of the fear that it instills.
Yeah.
So it wasn't about being anti-Semitic, it was about using the power of the symbol to instill fear in others, because that's what gangs do.
And artists do it too, like G.G. Allen did it with his.
Yeah, like G.G. Allen does it, exactly. But if we, within our collective, support each other in that way, then it can be saved and a future can be made.
Yes, like you said, a unified force, a group like I've been with ARTWAR and Coyote Church, getting young people to think that way and not try to cater to markets.
Exactly, and you know, and I kind of have my circle. You know, I was part of No Art and Boris Lurie and that whole thing, and I kind of supported Boris and got him his first show in 30 years in New York and like that. And that's a very powerful movement, No Art. And Boris Lurie was like was one of the creators of that movement, and I was like eventually became a big supporter of it. So I pushed No Art. You know, there's like an obituary that's just out. I'll send you a copy of that obituary, but it was about Konstantin K. Kuzminsky, and this was a Russian group, and they started this group called Art Party Pravda. So I kind of helped them get media and other things, so that brought them into a wider circle of people. And Konstantin K. Kuzminsky, I mean, I've been fortunate because I've known a lot of very sort of radical artists that have been, you know, very radical. Like, for example, when Ben Maria, the Motherfuckers, you know, first made himself public again for years because he had gone underground because he was sort of running from the FBI, and he kind of, you know, went on the, you know, lived in the wilds and things for a number of years. It was a couple of decades before he had been in New York. And so by kind of, you know, doing a big opening event here for him, that was one of his first public appearances to a large public in, you know, I don't know, probably 25 years or more. And, you know, Konstantin K. Kuzminsky, Ai Weiwei, for example, the whole use of my camera as an activist tool in that, he understood, and he kind of picked up on that. Boris Lurie and the No Artist, Mickey the Pope of the Marijuana Pope. So, you know, within my circle, I've got, you know, in the back here, I have a painting of The Godfather by Taylor Mead. You know, Taylor Mead was a Warhol superstar. He had his whole sort of struggle with survival. So the point that I'm making is that by us, you know, acknowledging this, even though it's difficult and it's hard and whatever, and, you know, I don't have stars in my eyes in that way, but I know that we can support each other. That's why I did a number of shows here. I showed Charles Gatewood.
Yeah, that's where I met him.
Yes,
92,
okay, right. You met Gatewood here, right?
Yeah, in 92.
In 92. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. So by us sharing, even though the subject that I'm talking about is depressing if you just stay on that subject, but if you take parts from that and realize, okay, this is the way it is, and then you do something about it. So yeah, okay, that's how you met Gatewood.
Yep.
Gatewood's now documented a lot of your performances.
Yeah.
Gatewood now is collected by the University of Berkeley. So that means that your performances now have found a home in the University of Berkeley.
So now I exist.
You're part of the, well,
that's part of the movement.
Yeah, that's part of the movement. You now exist in a different place, in a different way, and you're under his umbrella. And somebody at some point, because he's part of an archive now in a university and an establishment, is going to discover how important, unique, and original he is, and you're part of that.
True. So that's the mindset we should perpetrate.
That's what we're trying to do. And if you hadn't met him here, you wouldn't be part of that. Not that that's your whole life cherry, because it's not. But that's one of the added cherries on the tree of what you're blossoming, because that's important to you.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about.